You see, there's a quiet ache in your spirit, one that whispers even when the world is loud. Maybe you've spent years feeling forgotten by destiny, wondering if the divine ever saw your struggles. Maybe you've asked, in your weakest moments, is it too late to start over spiritually? Let me speak this truth over you now. You are here for a reason. This video didn't find you by accident. It's a signpost on the path you were always meant to walk. Tell me, have you ever felt like an outsider in your own life? Like the rules others followed never quite made sense to you? That discomfort isn't a flaw. It's the first whisper of your calling. The chosen ones aren't meant to blend in. They're forged in the fires of midlife spiritual awakening, where the soul finally demands its rightful place. And if you're here listening to these words, know this: your loneliness, your pain, even your shame, they're not proof you've been abandoned. They're proof you've been selected. I won't lie to you. The path of the chosen ones is not an easy one. It's marked by emotional pain that others might never understand. But here's the sacred secret. Your deepest wounds are where the light enters. Healing shame from the past isn't about pretending the scars don't exist. It's about recognizing them as holy inscriptions, reminders that you've been tested and found worthy. So if you're ready to step into the truth of who you are, type "I am ready" below. Let those words be a covenant between you and the universe. But listen closely. If you leave now, you might miss the confirmation you've been praying for. This isn't just another video. This is the moment you realize you were chosen by God, not in spite of your struggles, but because of them. The world will try to convince you it's too late. The enemy will whisper that you've been overlooked. But remember this: the divine doesn't work on human schedules. Your delays have been divine preparations. So take a breath, beloved. What if I told you every tear, every doubt, every time you thought you were lost, was actually guiding you here? Stay. The answers you've been seeking are closer than you think. You feel it, don't you? That quiet tug at your soul, the one that whispers even when the world is silent. It's the voice that kept you searching when others settled, the restlessness that made you question everything. That, my friend, isn't confusion. It's destiny calling your name. Perhaps you've spent years feeling forgotten by destiny, watching others bloom while you waited for your season. You've wondered, did heaven overlook me? Let me speak truth into that ache right now. The divine does not make mistakes. Your delays have been divine appointments. Your pain, sacred preparation. The world may have labeled you late, but in the realm of spirit, there are no expired dreams. Tell me this: have you ever had a moment so surreal it felt like déjà vu, or a dream that lingered upon waking like a promise? Those aren't coincidences. They're memory echoes from your soul's blueprint. The chosen ones always recognize these signs because they're written in a language only the awakened understand. And if you're here, hearing these words with your spirit leaning in, you're far more awake than you've dared to believe. I know the doubts that haunt you. Is it too late to start over spiritually? Here's the revelation. Time bows to purpose. Moses was 80 when he liberated nations. Sarah laughed at her destiny until it held her newborn in its hands. Your midlife spiritual awakening isn't a crisis. It's a crucible. The fire isn't here to destroy you. It's here to reveal you. So let me ask you directly, when the weight of being unseen feels heaviest, what if that's precisely when the divine is closest? The chosen ones and emotional pain share a sacred bond. Your tears water the seeds of future glory. Every night you spent healing shame from the past was actually you unwrapping your birthright. Before you go further, place your hand over your heart. Feel that rhythm. That's the pulse of a story far greater than your struggles. The universe didn't bring you here to tease you. It's preparing you to recognize the sings. So breathe deep, chosen one. The whispers you've been catching, they're about to become a roar. There comes a moment in every chosen life when eternity brushes against time, when the divine leans in and whispers your name in a way that rearranges your soul. You may have mistaken it for intuition. You may have dismissed it as imagination, but deep down, you knew. That voice was different. It carried the weight of ancient promises and future glory. Tell me, have you ever been in a crowded room yet felt completely alone? That isolation isn't punishment, it's preparation. The chosen ones are set apart because they're being tuned to a frequency others can't hear. While the world shouts, God whispers. While others rush, you're being taught to still your soul. This is why your path feels different. This is why conventional wisdom never quite fit you. Remember when you were younger, those moments you felt strangely homesick for a place you'd never been. That was your spirit remembering. The prophet Jeremiah said, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." Your destiny isn't something you discover. It's something you recognize. The dreams that won't leave you, the ideas that keep returning, the unexplained skills that flow through your hands. These aren't accidents. They're echoes of your design. Perhaps you've asked, why does my journey feel so heavy? Because gold doesn't become pure without fire. The chosen ones and emotional pain walk together because transformation requires friction. Your tears aren't evidence of weakness. They're the sacred waters that soften hardened ground for new growth. Every betrayal that left you raw, every disappointment that carved you hollow, they were making space for more of God. I need you to understand this. Your midlife spiritual awakening isn't a crisis, it's a coronation. The world tells you your best years are behind you, but the divine is summoning you to a greater glory. Moses was 80 when he stood before Pharaoh. Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born. Time has never been your enemy, only your excuse. That persistent feeling of being forgotten by destiny. It's the enemy's oldest lie. The truth is you've been marked from the beginning. The proof is in your unrelenting hope. While others grew cynical, you kept believing. While others compromised, you kept reaching. That stubborn faith isn't naivety. It's your spiritual DNA asserting itself. So today I speak this over you. The whisper that started your awakening will complete it. The same voice that called you in the darkness will celebrate you in the light. Your story isn't ending. It's entering its most powerful chapter. The world needs what you carry. Will you finally answer the call? The breaking always comes before the blessing. This is the sacred law. Few understand. You've felt it, that moment, when the weight of being chosen threatens to crush rather than elevate you. Why must the path to purpose be paved with such pain? Because the divine does not waste suffering. Every tear you've cried has been collecting in heavenly vessels, waiting to anoint your moment of breakthrough. You've asked the hard questions in midnight moments. If I'm truly chosen, why does it hurt so much? Here's the truth that will set you free. Your pain is not proof of God's absence, but of His process. The refiner never leaves his gold in the fire one moment longer than necessary, but He also never removes it too soon. What feels like abandonment is actually the most sacred form of attention. Consider this. The most powerful spiritual leaders in history all faced their dark night of the soul. Moses in the wilderness, Jesus in Gethsemane, Paul with his thorn. There's a pattern here. The greater the calling, the deeper the crucible. Your suffering isn't random. It's the exact curriculum required to prepare you for your destiny. That betrayal that shattered you, it was removing unhealthy dependencies. That failure that humiliated you, it was burning away arrogance. That season of lack, it was teaching you to walk by faith, not sight. The chosen ones and emotional pain are inseparable because transformation requires the death of who you were to birth, who you're called to be. You've secretly wondered if your midlife spiritual awakening was some kind of punishment. Flip that thought. It's actually promotion. The pressure you feel is the universe expanding your capacity. The loneliness you experience is the space being created for divine connections. Even your sense of being forgotten by destiny serves a purpose. It's severing you from human approval, so you can operate in God's power alone. Here's what the enemy doesn't want you to realize. Your valley is your training ground. David learned to slay giants while tending sheep. Joseph mastered leadership in a prison cell. Your current circumstances aren't your final destination. They're your preparation station. Every obstacle is perfectly positioned to develop the exact skills your destiny requires. The world will tell you to pray away your pain, but wisdom says lean into it. There are revelations that only come through brokenness. Just as certain seeds only release their fragrance when crushed, your darkest moments are actually your most anointed. When you feel most abandoned, you're actually being set apart. Remember this when the night seems endless. The dawn is already decreed. Your story follows the same arc as every great spiritual narrative. Testing comes before triumph, crucifixion before resurrection. The pain isn't permanent, but what it produces in you will be. So today, I challenge you to shift your perspective. Stop asking why me, and start declaring use this. Your suffering isn't the obstacle to your calling. It's the catalyst. The fire isn't destroying you. It's distilling you to your purest essence. What remains after the burning will be pure gold. The world needs wounded healers, those who've been through the fire and emerged with wisdom. Your pain is preparing you to be that for someone else. This is why chosen ones suffer. Not because they're cursed, but because they're being equipped to break curses. Stand firm, beloved. Your crisis isn't the end. It's the birthing contraction of your greatest chapter. The pain has purpose. The struggle has significance. And when you emerge, as you surely will, you'll understand why every step was necessary. The divine doesn't waste a single tear. Your suffering is sacred. Your pain has purpose. And your story, it's about to become someone else's miracle. 1. The unquenchable longing. You've always carried a divine dissatisfaction, a sense that there must be more to life than what everyone else settles for. While others chase money and status, your soul whispers about purpose and destiny. This holy discontent isn't accidental. It's your spirit remembering its eternal assignment. The chosen ones never fit neatly into worldly systems because they were designed to transform them. 2. Recurring spiritual dreams. Your nights are filled with vivid visions, scenes of flying, battles, ancient places, or mysterious symbols. These aren't random firings of your subconscious, but divine communication in the language of spirit. Like Joseph the dreamer, you're being shown glimpses of your future. Pay attention to the patterns. Heaven speaks in repetitions. 3. The stranger phenomenon. Complete strangers often confess their deepest secrets to you or ask for guidance. This happens because your spirit carries a recognizable energy of wisdom and safety. Like Jesus with the woman at the well, you have a way of drawing out hidden truths. This isn't coincidence. It's confirmation of your calling as a light bearer. 4. Unexplainable skills and knowledge. You possess abilities or understanding that defy logical explanation. Perhaps healing hands, prophetic insights, or sudden mastery of skills you've never studied. These are not talents but graces, spiritual gifts deposited in you before time. They emerge when needed because the divine equips those it calls. 5. The isolation, initiation. Your path has been strikingly lonely at times. Friends faded, family misunderstood. This wasn't rejection but divine protection. Heaven removing what would limit your growth. Like David in the wilderness, or Paul in Arabia, your solitude has been sacred training ground. The chosen are often set apart before they're sent forth. 6. The Phoenix Pattern. No matter how many times life knocks you down, you keep rising, often stronger than before. This resilience isn't normal human endurance, but evidence of the resurrection power flowing through you. Your story mirrors Christ's minus death, burial, and resurrection on repeat. Each comeback carries greater glory. 7. Synchronicities that defy logic you experience. Impossible coincidences, thinking of someone right before they call, finding exactly what you need in miraculous ways. These are not lucky breaks, but signs of divine alignment. The universe is conspiring in your favor because you're walking in your appointed path. 8. Physical sensitivities. You feel energy shifts intensely, getting goosebumps during worship, nausea in negative environments, or sudden temperature changes during prayer. This isn't imagination, but your spiritual sensors activating, like Elisha discerning the heavenly army. Your physical body responds to spiritual realities because you're a living antenna. 9. The Joseph effect. Like biblical Joseph, you've been through unfair betrayals that somehow positioned you for greater purpose. What others meant for harm, God used for good. This pattern confirms your role as a redeemer, one who transforms curses into blessings. Your painful past is actually your ministry foundation. 10. Sacred rage against injustice. Certain forms of oppression or deception trigger deep anger in you, not selfish frustration, but righteous indignation. This fire is the prophetic mantle awakening. Like Jesus cleansing the temple, you carry a zeal for God's standards. What outrages you reveals what you're called to heal. 11. The impossible promise. There's a dream or scripture that won't leave you, something so big it seems ridiculous. Yet despite all logic, you can't let it go. This is your Abrahamic covenant, a promise that requires faith to fulfill. The size of your God-sized dream confirms the scale of your assignment. What seems impossible is exactly what you'll achieve through divine partnership. Each sign is a sacred marker on your path, not to inflate your ego, but to confirm your course. The chosen aren't special because of who they are, but because of you as they are. These signs aren't for your pride, but for your assurance. When the road gets hard, now look back over your life with new eyes. Those strange moments, sacred encounters, those painful seasons, necessary preparation, that persistent calling, your destiny knocking. You didn't imagine these things. You were chosen. The world needs what you carry. Will you finally believe it? There comes a sacred moment in every chosen one's journey when the questions must finally surrender to the knowing. When why me transforms into use me. This is your turning point, the crossroads where doubt meets destiny, where years of questioning collide with sudden, unshakable conviction. You've stood at this precipice before, those nights staring at the ceiling, whispering, God, if you're really there. What you didn't realize was that every anguished prayer was actually building spiritual muscle. Your seasons of doubt weren't faithlessness. They were faith in training. Like Thomas needing to touch the wounds, your questions weren't rejection but the deepest form of engagement. Now comes the revelation that changes everything. Your doubts were never obstacles to your calling. They were part of your qualification. The most powerful spiritual leaders all faced their crisis of belief. Moses at the burning bush, who am I? Jeremiah, I'm too young. Even Jesus in Gethsemane, let this cup pass. Their humanity didn't disqualify them. It made their surrender meaningful. Here's the truth that will set you free. Faith isn't the absence of doubt, but the decision to trust anyway. That moment you choose to step forward despite every fear, every unanswered question, that's when the Red Sea parts. That's when the Red Sea parts. That's when the supernatural becomes your natural. Your midlife spiritual awakening hasn't been a detour. It's been the path. All those years feeling forgotten by destiny were actually your spirit being rewired for greater glory. Like gold purified 7 times, your doubts have burned away superficial faith, leaving only unshakable substance. Now you stand at the threshold. Behind you, every reason to quit. Before you, the promise that's haunted you for decades. This is your moment of divine trust, when you finally understand that your story was never meant to make sense in the middle chapters. The world will call this foolishness. Your mind will scream for guarantees. But deep in your spirit you know, it's time to walk on water. Not because the waves have calmed, but because you finally recognize the hand reaching for yours. So take the step, chosen one. Your doubt was never the enemy. It was the proving ground. Now comes the miracle. Now comes the fulfillment. Now comes the reason for it all. The bridge between doubt and destiny is always trust. Will you cross it? The most dangerous moment for any chosen one comes after the awakening, when you must return to ordinary life carrying extraordinary revelation. This is where many stumble, trying to reconcile spiritual truth with physical reality. But listen closely. Your everyday walk is your most powerful ministry. The way you handle mundane tasks with sacred intention. The way you transform routine into worship. This is where true mastery lives. You're not meant to escape the world, but to engage it differently. Like Daniel in Babylon, your power comes from maintaining heavenly connection while fully present in earthly assignment. Start seeing your workplace as a temple, your home as a sanctuary, your relationships as divine appointments. This is how light penetrates darkness. Not through grand gestures, but through consistent, conscious living. The chosen walk with what the ancients called holy indifference. Not apathy, but freedom from outcome. You do what's right because it's right, not because you demand certain results. This liberates you from performance anxiety and people-pleasing. When criticism comes, and it will, you'll stand unshaken, because your validation comes from deeper waters. Develop what I call sacred discernment, the ability to see beyond the surface of things. That difficult coworker, a soul in need of grace, that frustrating delay, divine protection. When you start interpreting life through spiritual lenses, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. This is how Joseph could say to his betrayers, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Your midlife spiritual awakening equipped you with an invaluable gift, the second look. Where others see problems, you see potential. Where others see endings, you see new beginnings. This perspective shift is your superpower. Now practice applying it to your past minus viewing wounds as wisdom wells. Your present minus seeing daily life as training ground. Your future approaching uncertainty with holy curiosity. The chosen walk with what mystics call detached engagement. Pouring deeply while holding loosely. You pour yourself fully into your purpose, while surrendering the form it takes. This balance prevents both burnout and apathy. You become like water, adaptable yet unstoppable. Practical steps for walking in your calling. Morning anchoring. Start each day with 5 minutes of conscious breathing, visualizing light filling your body. This sets your frequency. Sacred pauses. Build moments of mindfulness into your day, pausing before meals to give thanks, taking 3 conscious breaths before answering calls. These become portals to presence. Nightly review. End each day with honest reflection, not guilt-tripping, but growth tracking. Where did I shine today? Where did I shrink? What's the lesson? The world will try to make you forget your true nature. It will distract you with noise, exhaust you with busyness, tempt you with false comforts. This is why you must build altars in ordinary moments minus the cup of coffee held with gratitude, becomes communion. The walk around the block becomes a moving meditation. Remember, you don't have to choose between spiritual and practical. The most powerful chosen ones are those who can discuss divine mysteries while handling earthly responsibility. They write books and pay bills. They lead meditations and attend parent-teacher conferences. This is the sacred integration. Your walk will inspire before your words ever do. When people notice your peace amid chaos, your joy amid challenges, they'll ask about the hope within you, and that's when you'll realize your life has become the sermon. So go forth, chosen one, not with flashy proclamations, but with quiet confidence, not seeking platforms but embracing wherever you're planted. The world doesn't need more spiritual celebrity. Needs authentic souls living the truth. That's your calling. That's your power. That's your power. That's how the chosen walk. Place your hands over your heart. Feel that steady rhythm beneath your palms. That's the pulse of the divine moving through you. As we close, I want you to hear these words not just with your ears but with your spirit. May you remember your true name when the world tries to rename you. May you hear heaven's whispers when earth shouts lies. May your wounds become wisdom, your pain become purpose, and your trials become testimony. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release every doubt that's weighed you down. You came here questioning if you were chosen. You're leaving knowing. Now, with your eyes closed, see this truth. You are a living altar. Every step you take consecrates new ground. Every word you speak carries creative power. Every act of love shifts spiritual atmospheres. This isn't hyperbole. It's your spiritual inheritance. I bless your hands to heal what they touch. I bless your words to awaken what they reach. I bless your presence to transform every space you enter. When the path grows dark, as it sometimes will, remember this moment. Remember how your spirit resonated with these truths. That recognition was your soul remembering its origins. Leave a simple amen below, not for me, but as a sacred agreement between you and the divine. This marks your conscious yes to the journey ahead. Now go forth, not as a beggar hoping for crumbs of purpose, but as a fully equipped ambassador of light. The world has waited millennia for exactly what you carry. The blessing has been spoken. The call has been given. The choice is now yours. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he turn his face toward you and give you peace. Numbers 6:24. Numbers 26. You are seen. You are known. You are chosen. Amen.